Hi, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about venting and why it feels oh so good and why it can also go oh so bad. My name is Stella Grazant. I'm here to help you work happier and live better. And let's dive right in. So, oftentimes we feel like, oh, I just need a vent when something goes wrong. And you're actually right to have that impulse because what venting does is it helps us label our emotion. So, first and foremost, the benefit of venting is that you actually get to articulate how you're feeling. You're not repressing your negative emotions. And we know from the University of Texas, from Harvard School of Public Health, and so many other studies have shown that when we try to repress our emotions, when we try to pretend like we're happy and we're really not, that actually has devastating impact on our well-being over time. So if you're chronically ignoring your feelings and repressing them, that can actually lead to premature death, not to be taken lightly, and also chronic disease. So when we take an opportunity to quote unquote vent, we're actually allowing ourselves to process the emotion. Now, what psychologists know is that when we label an emotion, what we're doing is we're actually helping ourselves problem solve the need underneath that emotion. So, for example, if I just say, like, oh, I'm so mad, or oh, I'm so stressed, that's fine. But the more nuanced and specific you can get about labeling it and explaining what's happening, and especially if you're doing this to someone else, you'll actually start to shift from your reptilian part of your brain, that's just fight or flight, to the cognitive part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, where you start to help you plan, make decisions. Oh, actually, I'm stressed because I have too much work, because I said yes to doing this extra assignment because Amy is out. Okay, maybe I need to figure out who else I can delegate to. Okay, now the pitfalls of venting is that venting can easily lead to complaining. They can be the same thing. Now, when I talk about complaining in my work to my clients, and my clients all know I love giving them a complaint vacation, because when we complain, we're really actually in the process of suffering around what's wrong. We're not just observing what's wrong, stating what's wrong. We are in it, right? We're in that emotion. And so there's a difference between noticing, hey, I'm feeling pretty stressed and overwhelmed at work. There's a lot of things coming, that a lot of things on my plate, versus like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. And you're swelling with it, right? So the goal is, whether you call it venting or whatever you want to call it, the goal is we want to be a little bit more an observer of our experience rather than being swept up in a tidal wave of it, which is kind of challenging and nuanced. I totally get it. But we can observe, hey, this is happening for me. And when we observe this is happening for me, the part that's observing is your greater awareness. So it's distancing you a little bit internally from what's happening to, this is happening. And that actually supports you in moving through that emotion faster. So venting in and of itself is really it's really just a way for us to process our emotions out loud, which is a good thing. But when we complain and we're in the suffering of it all, that can actually have uh, negative consequences. For example, when we complain and we're in the suffering of that all, it really opens up our negativity bias. Our negativity bias is our brain's natural instinct to pay attention to anything that's bad, wrong, or threatening. And so when we kind of are opening the door for that type of thinking, or suffering, and just noticing what's wrong and keep going, keep going, keep going, then the momentum of that can kind of then lead you into more depths of despair than to support you. And so when we're just more of an observer, trying to keep a level of neutrality, a level of curiosity even, like I'm noticing myself feeling really edgy. Something's off. I'm grouchy. I'm pissed off. What is this? What is this about? Where is this in me? Where can I feel it in my body? I don't know what this is about. Hey, do you mind helping me talk this through? Notice how that tone is more curious, more open, a little bit more level than like, ah. So of course it's okay to be but what we want to aim for is to kind of be more curious, noticing, because that will ultimately help us move through it more gracefully and actually help solve for what that emotion is trying to signal for us. So I hope that helped. Hope that was useful. If it was, go ahead, leave me a comment. I'd love hearing from you guys, and feel free to share it if you think it would be helpful to share. And of course, like my channel so that you don't miss any videos. And I hope this all finds you well and healthy.